They also operated in Kitgum, in Pade district, LRA also operated in Abim district, which is in Karamoja area. LRA also operated in Noya district, in Amuru district. LRA operated in Oyam district, in Apache district. LRA also operated in Lira district. LRA operated in Soroti district, in Kumi district, in Amuria district. LRA did not have the opportunity to cross over Karuma. I'm not sure whether because they lacked equipments that would enable them to swim across the River Nile to the other side of Karuma. LRA operated in Sudan. LRA also operated in the Congo and Central Africa Republic, where they are currently still based. LRA worked in different places. I cannot narrate one by one. So, Mr. Crispus, follow in line with the question you've given me. There is a book that I have written, and if the court would allow me, I would open or to read a passage from this book. You would see clearly.
Was sufficient, and I think also, especially Mr. Jena, who has put the question to you, will agree with me. So I think we can continue with the examination by Mr. Jena.
I totally agree with him. He went further than I thought, which is very good. Because all I wanted to know was for him to tell court that the LRA operated within the Acholi sub-region, Lango sub-region, Teso sub-region, Sudan, and then, of course, now in the Central African Republic and the DRC.
This was all covered, I think,
yes.
Mr. Jena. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, I'm so grateful. Now, Mr. Witness, is it possible that the whole of that area was affected, which was affected by the LRA, was served by only the Gulu Intercept Office?
At the beginning, I said that technical intelligence is not me alone. I said there were other people, even the police and other organizations, which I don't know, conducted intercept. But on my side, as I said yesterday, with radio call, you may be stationed in Gulu, but you can intercept communications in the Sudan. You can be stationed in Gulu and you can intercept somebody who is in Soroti or in West Nile. So radio call, with radio call, you can intercept communication even up to Sudan. So my staying in Gulu, I can pick communication in any part of Africa, even in Kenya, I can pick even while I'm stationed in Gulu.
To witness that seems to vary with what you talked about, your inability now to pick the LRA because they are so far away now at the moment.
Yesterday, I mentioned that when these people were in the Sudan, when you look at the distance between Gulu and Sudan, what is the range? What is the distance? I mentioned in my statement yesterday that when these people are in Sudan, we actually pick them, intercept them right from the Sudan. But there are some points, because of interference due to bad weather, that's when we are unable to pick them. But where now the range of the radio call cannot reach, then that means we are not able to pick them. Yesterday I mentioned that while we are doing our intercept work, there is also direction finding, which confirms that these people are communicating from Rubanga Tech. And this is what I mentioned yesterday, and I think you also heard this. Thank you.
Is it the case that your capacity, your technical capacity, was such that there are situations you could not capture?
We are speaking at the time 10, 12 years ago. We are speaking about this time now.
10 years ago, Your Honors, we were doing intercept work, intercepting the LRA work, until such a time when they left Uganda, they even left Sudan, and they shifted to Central African Republic. It was difficult to find them, and we had to transfer some of the machines there, and up to now, some of our machines are there, and the people who are stationed there have the time to pick them. I said that the radio call operates based on the weather at that time. So some of our people are still there up to now. The people that you see their names were listed yesterday, they're still doing the same work. And they even know that they're still doing the intercept work, even up to now as I'm speaking. But by the time they left Uganda, they left Sudan, we were not able to, we did not have the authority or the right to intercept them. That's why we shifted our machines, which is guiding our forces in the Central African Republic.
Mr. Witness, can we talk about the location of your office in Gulu? I don't know whether it's necessary to go back to closed session.
I think when we are talking about the location as it were at the time, I would not have a problem with it. But when you referring to the present days, I would say we would have to go into private session. Are there any other opinions on the side of the prosecution on that, in that regard?
Well, I'm referring to...
Your Honour, I believe it's public, the fact that Ugandan African forces are tracking Kony in the Central African Republic at the moment. It's purely the names that we would like to keep in private session, and as long as there's no names, I think we can continue.
Then we continue in open session, and Mr. Witness, you were very attentive to that fact, and in your last question you recalled very correctly and very precisely what not to talk about in open session, so please continue like that. Please, Mr. Ayena, you have still the floor.
Now, Mr. Witness, yesterday you make reference to your office being in is it boys' quarters? Is that correct?
Regarding my office, I think the photograph yesterday clearly mentioned. But if there's anything that's relating to office, I may not be able to mention it in the public.
Mr. Ayena, continue. We have seen the photographs then, and he remarked on them.
Your Honors, I want to cross-examine him on what we saw yesterday and what is on record. And what is on record.
Perhaps then you refer to what we saw yesterday, what he remarked there yesterday. Yeah, of course, you are entitled to do that.
Yes. So can you tell court, Mr. Witness, the number of people who are on the same compound with you?
The number of people that were with in the same compound, yesterday I mentioned them clearly. There were some names that I even left out that I did not pick. There are names that I was advised not to mention, but to just use the names. I said clearly there are people working in two sections, direction finding and intercept. And if this name is still here, if this list is still here, please bring it forward, then I can be able to mention it to you again.
Can you tell court whether there was any other security intelligence agency sharing the same compound with you?
I mentioned that I am not the only person doing intercept. There were other people who were doing intercept work, like internal security organization, who were also doing similar work. But their office is separate from ours. I even mentioned their name here yesterday. They do a different kind of work. I don't know how they do the intercept operation. So I don't do it alone. There are other people, many other people who also do it. Thank you.
A break. And let me put it this way, after this 1.5 hours, I think this break is well deserved, so to speak. And we meet again here at 11:30.
All rise. Veuillez vous lever.